Some men seem to always build more attraction even without saying much, but if you read between the lines, you will see that what she reacts to the most are very easy tactics any man like you can use. And in this video, you will understand why getting a woman obsessed with you has much less to do with how you look and what you think. The first main psychological trigger is emotional stability, which is often confused with arrogance or being overly dominant and stoic. It is not about not feeling emotions, it is about accepting emotions and letting them pass by. Whenever she's testing you, she's teasing you, she's making some funny comment about how you look because of my hair or because of my tie, she makes fun of me. Now, if I overreact and say, "No, it is a nice tie, I bought it myself," why am I overreacting and why are you overreacting? Or if she's saying, do you think that is what a real man should do? If you react to that kind of comment, you are showing yourself lower than her. Whereas if you say something like, yes, definitely this is what men like me do. You don't like men like me? Why? What has been your experience with men like me before? Then you are redirecting the conversation to make her validate herself and her opinion instead of you jumping into the wrong hoop. That is what we mean by emotional stability. You don't have to justify yourself, you have to make her justify yourself for attacking you. And in the end, you just don't care. That is what is more attractive. Another great example I had with that is when I mentioned, like it was I think 2 years ago, I mentioned to a girl in a bar that I was playing the guitar and I practiced since I was a teenager, never took that too seriously, but I practiced a little bit. When I said that, you know what she told me? She said, "Oh yeah, you just learned the guitar to play the guitar to pick up girls, right?" And what I said here is definitely yes, and I said, "Yeah, for sure, but it never worked. You know, I was never really that good at it." Then she laughed, because I did not take myself seriously. When you let that negativity and nasty comments slide off of you, then you demonstrate emotional stability and you demonstrate that you don't care that she's judging you or not. When that becomes real, she grows more attracted because you are part of the tiny minority of guys who don't rely upon her validation to feel like a man. And if you are confused about how to use those sharp lines whenever you get some shit test, whenever she's testing you, you have 20 of the best ones ever invented down below in the description that you can use right away, and notice how your brain can automate that whenever you have a conversation with her, either through text or in real life. The next psychological trigger is that your life seems inaccessible, or that you seem to have a cool life, or at least some things interesting in your life, and she can't completely enter your world. You give her some space, obviously, you show her the way, but you show her too that you are busy, that you have other projects you are working on, projects that don't involve picking up girls, obviously. You work on other skills, other projects, maybe your own job, and by the way, if you hate your job, that's fine, not everyone is doing something they love. Simply develop at least one very important project in your life. You need to have at least one thing people can gravitate around. If there is nothing, then your job right now is not to pick up girls, it is to actually build a life. Once you have at least one project you are working on, then show her or demonstrate that you are busy with that project. Because you do this, she will notice that, oh, that guy is prioritizing his own life before trying to get my ass into his bed. That is pretty impressive, because most guys do the reverse. They don't have a life, they don't have anything interesting about themselves, they just complain that they don't look good enough on social media, and then they complain that they don't have a girlfriend. That's just complaints. What can you build that is interesting in your life? Build a YouTube channel, for example. What can you comment about? What can you say that is interesting about your life? And showing that this life is made for you firsthand. She may have some space into your life, but you won't let her enter that easily. She has to prove to you why she's worth it. That's how you show that you have some inaccessible life. And that's when she gets more attracted too, because she notices, okay, that guy has something for himself. He's not just roaming around trying to get chicks in his bed. He actually has built something. And by the way, on a side note, for all of you guys worrying about I don't have enough money or status or whatever because just the fact you're building something is usually way more interesting than a guy who has already built something. The multi-millionaire who just chills on a yacht all day long, that guy is much less interesting than a guy who's starting a business from scratch and developing many creative ideas, meeting people everywhere to just build his ideas. That is way more stimulating to hear about this than about a guy who has already built everything and now does nothing with his life. So build at least one interesting thing and they will gravitate to you. Psychological trigger number 3, creating tension, emotional tension on purpose. You see, most guys are terrified by creating a wrong response, by offending her. Especially now with feminism, the Me Too movement, all of that, many guys are just worried to even just say anything. So they prefer not saying anything, so remain passive, like hidden into their shell and not saying and just not offending her in any way. That's even worse if you have met in your life some toxic women, or if you had some bad relationship and maybe she was overly aggressive, or maybe you grew up in a toxic environment with overly aggressive women around you. And in that case, you might be extremely afraid of just saying one thing that could offend them. But fear not, you can, my friend, find some freedom in the fact that they actually love a man who can create a bit of drama on purpose. Not in a too serious way, just in a humorous way. Once again, the main principle behind that is that you don't care about her judgment. You are fine if she chooses you, you're fine if she's not choosing you at all. That's when attraction grows. So that comes from an abundance mentality instead of just a scarcity mentality. Basically, I had an example of this. Yes, with a hooker, not somebody I paid, but basically I was in a party and a friend of mine was here, a female friend of mine, and she brought another girl with whom we really connected very fast. But then that girl, because she, I don't know, like she put me on a pedestal or whatever, she got really drunk that night. She was drinking because she was nervous, something she considered later, so I'm not making that up, it is really what she told me. But the fact is that she drank too much. Then she got a bit sick, as you see, and then she left. So I had a bit of tension warmed up inside my body, if you see what I mean, because we had made out before that point, and then I was kind of frustrated. So I talked to literally every girl I could talk to during that night, and one of them was a hooker who really tried to get me to pay to follow her in her apartment. I said no, I made her struggle a lot. That's the kind of game I like to play with hookers, just my personal preference. But then I told that story to the girl who got sick the night before and who was supposed to sleep with me that night. And I told her everything. Oh yeah, I almost went home with a hooker. And when I say that to guys, they're like, oh, you should never say that. She's gonna be offended that you talk to a hooker. Why would you say that? I'm like, I don't give a shit. She's the one who got sick. She's lower value than me in that instance. So I can talk about whatever I want, and when I mentioned that story, you know what happened? She got jealous. She got jealous because what her friends conceded to me afterward is that when I told that story of me just talking to a hooker, to a prostitute and not giving a shit, that girl who was supposed to sleep with me instead of the prostitute, she was jealous. She said, it should have been me, why? And then she did everything she could to actually sleep with me. And yes, that night was pretty interesting. So when you don't give a shit and create a tension by showing that you don't care, any kind of tension you can create by inducing slightly negative feelings in herself, not to the point of demolishing her, obviously not, but to the point of creating slight tension and not giving a shit about it. That's how attraction grows once again, because you have more emotional maturity and you don't overreact to stupid shit anymore. Psychological trigger number 4, a man of higher value does not need to explain himself. If you are in a relationship, it has been 5 years, you have kids together, different story, okay. But if you're somebody who hasn't built a family with her yet, no, you don't have to explain herself at all, especially not in the first encounter. If she's testing you and saying some negative things about you, or judging what you do for a living, for example. For example, right now, me, if I talk about dating on a YouTube, somebody might judge me, that should be bad. Well, if I don't give a shit, then why should I be affected by what they think? Before you give any justification basically about something you think she might judge you about, before you give any justification, simply ask yourself, did she ask anything? Did she say anything? Sometimes I see guys very insecure, over justifying themselves. Oh yeah, you know, I study seduction, but it's because I want to find a wife in my life. No, you study seduction because it is cool and it is fun. You don't have to justify you studying that. It is perfectly okay. So, did she say anything before you justify yourself? You do not have to explain yourself for the choices you make. This is because you make that choice that it is a good choice. And if you talk to a therapist and she's telling you it is maybe a bad idea, different story. But if it is just somebody you met in the street or somebody you met on Tinder and you are scared she might judge you, where does that fear comes from? For example, when I was practicing hypnosis in the very beginning, when I started, I didn't have advanced skills yet, obviously, and one time a girl had some reluctance when I mentioned hypnosis, because in the back of her mind she had read some stories in hospitals of psychiatrists abusing their patients with hypnosis. Complete bullshit story, by the way. When she showed me, it was complete bullshit. But basically, she had some reluctance. And instead of justifying myself, oh no, hypnosis is really good, you should try it. I didn't try to justify myself. I simply said, if you feel like I should explain myself, could you clarify why should I? If you feel like I should explain myself, can you clarify what got triggered in your mind? Because I do not feel like I have to explain myself. So when I mentioned hypnosis, what flashed through your mind when I said this? Because I don't see why it is a problem. So can you clarify this for me? So when I said this, she clarified that she just had one example, not a whole plethora of scientific explanations, just one example of something bad about hypnosis. Well, okay, it's just one bad example. Then build up new examples, and maybe you can listen to me so that you can develop and enrich your understanding of that field that you don't know about in the end. But the point is that I challenged her before saying anything. I do not have to explain myself. If she's judging me, she's the one judging herself. The world is just a mirror, you know? The mirror will never smile before you do. The same happens for negative emotions. Nobody will be mad at you unless you're being mad at yourself. So when she's judging you, if you react to that, it means you're simply judging yourself firsthand. You can rewire that concept by stop judging yourself, being fine with who you are, with what you are building in life, with where you are in life, and that's how she can grow more attracted once again. And finally, number 5, being comfortable in other social situations than just the one where you're trying to pick her up. Basically, women associate much more with people than with money or status. They presume. Basically, for women, who they associate with is more important than money or status or fame. Fame can be important, but it's more the fact that the guy they associate it to is connected and is at ease with other people around, and many people know him. So if you can surround yourself with other people and demonstrate that you have good social skills and good manners around her friends, around other people, she might put you on a higher step on the ladder in her mind. Quite often, women share group thinking much more than men do. Men tend to be more individualistic, partly trained by society, maybe also genetically. Women tend to think more in groups. So if one of her friends, or if all of her friends do not like you, she might just disregard you because of that point alone. Because her other friends did not validate you. And they don't have to validate you in terms of validating all of your life choices, but at least at the moment you interact with them, do they find they have a nice conversation? Do they spend a good time when you talk to them? That's how she will notice that, okay, that guy is socially accurate, he's socially intelligent, he's got good intuition with people, that's somebody I could associate with. Again, who they associate with is more relevant than money, fame, status, expensive cars, all of that. You won't buy her affection by buying her more stuff. You will make her stay by showing that you are indispensable or you are valuable into her life. And part of being valuable is to be able to handle social situations, including eventually situations she doesn't really know how to navigate. And once again, if you have no clue how to talk to women and how to respond when she's testing you and testing your vulnerability or testing your emotions, you have 20 of the best phrases ever invented down below, called the Magical Linguistics Model. You will find how to do frame control whenever she's testing you, how to maintain emotional stability, and how to apply all of those processes with concrete sentences you can use anywhere. That is down below. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon in the next video.